Hello, this is Dennis with A1 Telephone Service and Repair, A1 Electronics. You can reach us on the web at www.a1-telephone.com, and you can also reach us at 618-235-6959. Today I want to show you kind of an update video. This is Mike's telephone. This is an A&E 3-slot payphone, and basically we're just kind of in the middle of the road here with this. It kind of looks like a little bit of a mess, but this is a working mess. This telephone works, and we're kind of finalizing all the wiring. And so what we have now, we have our modular port installed. That's been installed. There's been a bell installed. We have our capacitor that is original to the telephone mounted. It was all loose and everything was kind of just hanging everywhere. We also have our key now for our vault door, and so that all locks. And we did an earlier video of where we had got a key from a supplier, and although it wasn't to the 10L lock, we took the lock apart and keyed the lock with this key, and so now that's all functioning and working, and it locks. The body lock on this telephone was connected up so that somebody has already configured the lock so that you can just open it with a screwdriver. So we're going to go ahead and leave the telephone in that condition, the way that they have already configured the lock before we ever worked on this telephone. So now what we're going to do, I'll show you a couple of things that we had to do on the front cover or the body of the telephone. We had to make a connection block for these prongs here, for these connection prongs and the finger prongs. So I'm going to go ahead and ring the telephone. Let that ring a couple times. Give it one more. Give you some dial tone here. And we're going to go ahead and dial some numbers here real quick. I'll end in a 2. Now, a lot of people, a lot of the customers request or opt for you can hear this tinkle, the bell tinkle a little bit when I'm going through the numbers. And most of the customers want that. It just gives it the old sound that they had when you were dialing. And so I will talk to Mike about that and see if that's exactly what he wants. If not, that's fine, but most everyone opts for the little tinkle of the bell when you're dialing, and sometimes when you're hanging up and you access the line, you get a little tinkle to the bell. Now, the other thing is I want to talk into the handset, and you'll see a red light on the analyzer. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hello, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That indicates 100% modulation. So the telephone, although we're in a process of finalizing the wiring situation, the telephone is in working condition. And let's do this real quick. I want to show you the piece that we had to make, and basically you don't want this grounding out on the telephone. So this, in the old days, the original pieces were made with some material, and then they would have some contacts here, and so this is basically how that turned out. These two contacts here, when the telephone is closed up, these two contacts here, and they had more in the older days for different stuff that they needed when it was a working payphone. But in this situation, all we need is these two, and that's basically what it looks like at this point. And you could have added a plug here using a wire, but then when you take the cover off, it's a little more of a hassle to kind of hold the cover and unplug the telephone. So our bracket was here, but we were missing this piece, and that's the way this telephone was designed. Other ones have a plug that come out of here and that give you a little bit of extra wire, and then you unplug it. But these contacts here in this area will ride on these contacts on the bottom end of the contact situation there. So that's what makes your connections between the body of the telephone and the base unit here, or the frame. So anyway, now that we've done those checks, let's do this. Let's pull the telephone line and go into a regular line, and what we're going to do is get you some dial tone here. And I'll go ahead and call, like, say, a time and temp number.
Good morning. Our body shop can repair almost any make and model for less. Offenburg Belleville, 234-0330. Today is Wednesday, May 11th. The time is 10:59. Current temperature 97 degrees. Now the weather forecast for the Belleville area.
Partly cloudy with showers and thunderstorms today, highs in the 80s. Partly cloudy tonight, then becoming mostly cloudy. Showers and thunderstorms likely, lows in the 60s. Mostly cloudy Thursday, then becoming partly sunny. Showers and thunderstorms likely, highs in the 80s.
So we know that the telephone is in working condition now, and a few things have to be wrapped up and finalized on this telephone, and basically it'll all be finished up, and Mike will probably be really happy to get this back together. Now there is a top sign here, and I'll show this in the final checkout video, but we're not going to install this sign on the top because it just goes on with 4 screws here, 4 bolts and nuts, and it's a very simple install, and basically there's no sense in putting it on the telephone while we're shipping it. I don't want anything to get bent on the telephone. It makes the telephone a lot longer because it sits on the top here, and there would be no sense in putting that sign on. It's a simple install, and we'll just leave that off at this point. But this is a little update video of Mike's A&E 3-slot payphone. These are really cool payphones. We get a lot of customers that walk in, and you know, when the hot items are being worked on, and people, customers walk in, they always want to try to you know, grab the telephones that we're working on, because, you know, they'll ask, are they for sale? You know, so they try to buy them. So you can always tell the ones that are the really hot telephone items, because the customers will always try to buy them, and they're very interested in them. And so this is a really cool telephone, and everybody that's seen it has really wanted it and liked it. So that's a neat thing. But this one's getting pretty close to being finished up, and we're just kind of like in the middle of it right now, and we'll be finishing it up, and I'll try to do a final video on this telephone as soon as I can. This is Dennis with A1 Telephone Service and Repair, A1 Electronics. Thank you for watching, and have a great day.